tuning in to Riding the Wave. I am the urban surfer Glenn T. And we're here with new topics again. I appreciate all of the listeners. Certainly looking forward to your comments, suggestions, questions. You can reach out to me at ridingthewave.podcast@gmail.com. You can also catch me on Twitter at Glenn_town. These are two ways where you can absolutely get to me. For you podcasters out there, I love the craft. I'm sure you do too. If you want me on your show, or if you would like to be on Riding the Wave, simply let me know by dropping these lines on these avenues that I just mentioned. Again, ridingthewave.podcast@gmail.com. Glenn_town, that is my Twitter. So how's everybody out there feeling? Just want to get into a topic that I'm sure everybody is aware of mostly. Again, this is for the audience, for the grown. Don't really curse on my show. Don't really use words that I don't need to use. But this is for the thinking person. Again, riding the wave. We are in this proverbial life of the water that we're speaking. And our surfboards are our actions. The shore is the end. And our actions are what take us through these waves in life. So just want to get your opinions, thoughts, questions. However, jumping right into the topic, I had this one come to me. This one here is kind of interesting. I just thought I might expound on it a little bit. But sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through expectations. What do you guys think about that? We create our own heartbreaks through expectation. So for anybody just listening in now, this is Riding the Wave with Glenn T, the urban surfer. Topic today is we create our own heartbreaks through expectations that we create on our own. Just want to kind of feel this topic out a little bit. Are our expectations real? Should we have any expectations at all? And finally, are standards and expectations the same? So these things we're going to go over today. Are expectations real? Should we have any expectations at all? And are standards and expectations the same? Very interesting topic. I want to dive right in. Again, I always want to look forward to your comments, questions, one-liners, anything, agreements, agree. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I'm looking for any feedback whatsoever. Are expectations real? Are our expectations real? Are they? Have you ever evaluated your expectations versus what people actually offer in life? If you look at a person that's quality. As we all know, nothing's perfect in life. Nothing whatsoever. And if we know that nothing in life is perfect, we also know that if there's no perfection in life, that there's going to be some qualities that we just don't agree with people, right? Hopefully you agree with that. For me, I know that nothing is perfect, and expectations that people have quite a bit of times are a little bit unrealistic. I'm not going to say that they're a complete hyperbole, a figment of your imagination even, but I'm just going to say that we can stretch it just a little bit. The woman wants the man with the looks, the height, the weight, the car, the macho-ness, the finances, the romance, everything, the works. Men want the model woman, who can cook, clean, have sex 10 times a day, and still balance the checkbook. Just a rude awakening, all of you guys, none of these people exist. I'm sure that they do, but the population is very little, and I'm sure they're taken because everybody's looking for them. Expectations. So we know that they can be a little bit stretched out. What do we do about that? Should we even have expectations at all? Have you ever asked yourself that? Should we have any expectations at all? Should we just be free from expectations? What are expectations? I feel we We shouldn't have any expectations. Expectations kind of lead you to disappointment, if you want to be honest. You're expecting somebody to do something or to be away before you get to know that person. That's what an expectation is. You don't even know if this person is physically, mentally, emotionally capable of what you're about to ask them to do, to be, to act, whatever the case is. Do we even know if they're able to do the things that you are looking for? What attracted you to the person in the first place? Again, if you're just tuning in, if you're just picking up this podcast, if you're just chiming in with somebody that already had it on play, my name is Glenn T, the Urban Surfer. You are listening to Riding the Wave. Today's topic is sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through expectations. What do you think about that? You can always reach me at ridingthewave.podcast@gmail.com. You can also catch me on Twitter at Glenn_town. Again, just want to give you these disclaimers that these perceptions are certainly my own. These perceptions, these opinions, these are my realities. If I could change your life with my realities, wonderful. If not, I do still thank you for listening. My only mission is to change one mind a day while listening to this podcast. If I can do that in a positive way, I've done my job. Otherwise, I will just certainly try harder. So again, I want to get back to, should we have any expectations at all? Should we? What do you guys think? Drop me a line. Again, me personally, I think that we shouldn't have any expectations. We're not sure what a person is capable of doing. I think a better approach is to accept a person face value, and if they do not meet these expectations, then you teach them how to. If they're capable already. If they're apt to do so, and you can tell, then go ahead and teach them. Tailor that person how to cater to you, or how you like a certain thing or characteristic in a person. Teach your mate how to do that. Don't make them feel like they're falling on their face because this quality isn't pre-existing. Again, expectations are something that you want or you expect a person to do, see, think, or feel. You're expecting something from someone before even knowing if they're capable of doing so. That's a dice roll. That is certainly a gamble. I stay away from expectations myself. Expectations are certainly a dangerous field, but you can't change everybody's mind. Again, I'm just trying to do one a day. If I can do that, wonderful. Otherwise, again, thank you for listening. Just want to let you know where you're at. This is Riding the Wave with Glenn T, the Urban Surfer. I'm here just bringing you my version of the truths in this big ocean of life. We're surfing these waves back to shore, which is our finish line, our final destination. Just want to get you there and make you look good doing it. Don't blame me, thank me. So moving right along, about expectations, sometimes we create them. It does break our heart, make us sad, right? Who likes to be sad? I know I don't. I doubt anybody's going to raise their hand for that one. Being sad is definitely a state of mind that makes you do and act and feel certain ways that you never want to feel again. Even the small sad things. Setting expectations, they could be more like disappointment sometimes. Not actually like neck bent over, back hunched, sad. You're not eating for days and the lights are out in your room with tissues everywhere. I don't think these expectations or these failed expectations causes depression, but who knows? I'm certainly not the person to judge. I'm just the only one to observe, and by my observations, hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing. Otherwise, I'll accept being crazy. Anyway, let me ask you guys something. Since we're on the topic of expectations, what's the difference between standards and expectations? Is there a difference? Is there a fine line between the two? Standards and expectations. How can you distinguish the two? And do they mean anything to you except for in relationships or qualities you want to see in other people? Again, I'd like to hear your opinions. Go to my Twitter at Glenn_town. Also, my Gmail, ridingthewave.podcast@gmail.com. Again, I'm Glenn T. This is Riding the Wave. I want to know, are standards and expectations the same? And if they are, tell me why. And if they're not, tell me why. I want to know the difference to you. I can give you my opinion, but I also want to know yours. This is an interactive world. If I knew everything or I felt that my knowledge was all inclusive, I wouldn't be on this microphone. Obviously, I want to reach out. One of the best ways of doing so is actually reaching out. Simply. For me, standards are something that you have within yourself that you would see in other people before you even get to meet them. So a person has to be 6 feet tall. A person has to have a certain type of job. You know, they have to have the woman has to have a certain type of waistline, you know, her shoe size, whatever. These are what you call standards, if you ask me. Standards. Now, people can simply meet your standards or not meet your standards. You can flat out see that. You can. It's tried and tested. You know, if you're looking for a vegetarian and they have a hot dog, when you meet them, they're pretty much going to not meet those standards that you're setting for this potential person. Are you expecting them to be a vegetarian? You shouldn't, because you just don't know. These are your standards. These are not society's standards, which becomes expectations. Now, I expect the sun rise in the morning because it shows consistent. But can I expect a person to act a certain way when I don't even know them? I can't. These are my standards, and I can't push them off on anybody else. This is just something that I want to see in my mate. Will I see it? That is yet to be determined. Should I expect to see it? No. But if you do, they meet your standards, and that's a good sign. Take your time. Expectations ruins time. It's like cutting corners. You expect this and expect that. It's like having your hand out. Nobody's entitled to anything. You're not entitled these qualities in your mate. That's an expectation. They can be your standards, but you can't expect someone to have that. And for me, that's the difference. Standards and expectation can be clearly different. They can certainly be convoluted as well, and you can tell that line in murky waters. But for the most part, if you can understand the root of these words, then you would definitely to distinguish a little bit better between standards and expectations. These perceptions and opinions on my own. You're listening to Glenn T, the Urban Surfer. This is Riding the Wave. Drop me a line. I want to hear what you think, feel. I want to know how my show makes you feel, the things that I talk about. Email me, ridingthewave.podcast@gmail.com. Again, my Twitter hold is Glenn_town. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like the show, what things I can do different. I am a new podcaster. I am looking forward to other people in the field. Let me know how you feel about me. I can always do the same, whether it is a love for the craft. I certainly love podcasting. I hope you do too. Back to the topic, basically we create our own heartbreaks through expectations. Yes, I agree with that. Our expectations can be a bit unreal. I feel that we shouldn't have any expectations at all and just basically leave them to standards, which is certainly different than expectations. So don't confuse standards with